What's up, y'all? We are back with another nail video, and we are going to draw for our final school. So this set that you see is the previous set that I did for Central High and Northwest High in my city. So like I said in the previous videos, there are 7 local inner city high schools. So those are the ones that I did sets for. I'm going to remove these off of my plastic hand, and we're going to get started by drawing the last school, the design, and the shape type. So stay tuned, you are in for a treat. And this set, I don't think that it looked as good as it could have. Some of the nails were crooked. I didn't like how long I made the nails for the round shape. Round nails look appealing, more appealing, shorter. So they were way too long, way too long. However, you can do whatever you want on your nails. There's no right or wrong. It's just, you can look to your nail tech to see what would look good, and what they're capable of doing. So I'm going ahead and I'm drawing out of the jar. And North High. North High is home of the Vikings. Go Vikings, go North. And I got 3D art. So I have to make 3D artwork on this set. And the shape I got was squoval, which is square but not so chiseled. The edges are kind of rounded. And I tried to make that happen. However, the nails turned out to look more coffin shape, which I did not put that shape in there, or ballerina. And I should have put those shapes in the jar to pull. So I am going in now. I'm going in with my glue, and I'm going to glue on some full coverage tips, and kind of shape them and things like that. So North High's colors are blue, gold, and white, and sometimes the gold is interchanged with yellow. Sometimes it's actually gold, so I could put some gold glitter on these nails. But I use all of that. You'll see on this set that I use the blue, the yellow gold, and the gold. So you want to file your tips just to ensure that your shape comes out crisp. If not, if you don't file the tip, then you're going to spend more time trying to file through the acrylic or whatever enhancement that you put on the nails. So I attended North High. I graduated in 2005, and high school was just fun, and I have a lot of memories. North High is a school that is big on, school spirit and making sure everyone is involved. The reason why the school is named North is because it's on the north side of the city. So a lot of our schools in my city are directions, like aerial directions. So you got northwest, you got north, you got south, and then some is just like areas. So like Benson, that is a small town within our town, and so that is named after that neighborhood. Okay, so we are going to go in and get started. I'm just kind of using the last set that I did as inspiration, or like a reference guide as to how I want the next set to look and what I want to do different. So that's why you see me pulling that other hand with the old set on it. Okay, so I went ahead and did my 3D gel. I did that off camera to make those cones, those ice cream cones that you see. So I just kind of fit it to the nail. I didn't even file it. It's like putty. It's like Play-Doh. And it doesn't get hard until you cure it under the lamp. So here I'm just pulling some of my Model 1's colors that I'm going to use to make the ice cream on top of those cones. So I am using a Beetle's color. It's a jelly color. If you want me to pin it down below, I can do that if you want to know that exact color. It is very transparent. That's what I mean by jelly. It's kind of see-through. It does get darker the more layers you put on it, but it still has that glass effect, that transparent effect. And I'm just curing that for 60 seconds. You always want to cure your gel polish according to the directions or the instructions of that brand. Some gel polishes require longer times. I know I see a lot of questions where, in nail groups and things like that, where people are asking why don't their, gel polish cure? And especially in the Beatles group that I'm a part of, I see a lot of people asking, why isn't my gel polish curing? Because you need to, if you don't have a higher power lamp, it kind of depends on the wattage of your lamp that you're using too. You might need to cure it for longer. Or you might need to go in with thinner layers of polish. Maybe you're making your polish a little too thick. You're trying to put too much on at once. So, in all actuality, you want to make sure you're using thin layers, and you're going to do at least 2 layers of gel polish, unless you're just doing, like a jelly nail, then you can probably get away with doing just one. But you always want to cure in between those thin layers. So now what I'm going to do, I'm getting my palette here and I'm going to do some artwork. Okay, and I started off with red, but then I realized I didn't want to make the lips red. I'm making a mouth, as you probably saw on the thumbnail. But I later cleaned that off and go in with the gold Beatles polish, and I make the lips gold. So I did a really good job on this mouth. This is the first mouth that I drew that I actually kept because I've been practicing off camera because I practice different things every day. And I'll let y'all into my world sometimes when I practice. So this was solely for practice purposes. Um, of course, I'm working on a plastic hand and I wanted to just get different um, ideas and practice. So the way to do that, sometimes it can be hard to kind of gauge what you need to work on. The way to do that was to draw out of a jar, and it makes for good content as well, but to draw out of a jar to get different ideas and different color palettes and things like that to work with. So I used the high schools as inspiration, and it was a great time to do so because homecoming, just passed or whatever, is still going on for some schools, and it's also homecoming time for colleges. So maybe next year I'll do colleges, you know, and use their color palettes, and I'll use colleges all over the country. That'll be even a better idea. So, get more people watching and engaged. So now I am drawing the teeth for that mouth, and I cure in between because we don't want that gel polish to run. I'm going to keep this mainly about what I am doing because there's a lot of moving parts. I had did a other voiceover just kind of sharing some high school memories that I had, but I wanted to make this video really about the nails because this design, honestly, I think this one is the best one that I did out of all of the high schools, even though Burke's and Benson set turned out really great. Like I went all out for my old school. So now I am making the tongue because it's going to be a mouth that has the tongue out. And you see me going in with the red, and I'm doing really light strokes, and I'm using a really fine Beatles brush, nail art brush. I have different ones that I will be using, because they're different sizes, and different size brushes do different things. Like I see people making really fine lines with longer brushes. I can't do that. I use the long brushes for when I'm making long straight lines, and I use the shorter brushes for when I'm making more curved lines or more defined, when I'm outlining things. So whatever works for you, because I see people doing it all the time. Um, it just doesn't work for me. I tend to get the gel everywhere when I use the long striping brush. So I use the shorter ones to get more control of where I am, putting those lines. Right here, you see me doing some hot water. I got that off of, I want to say TikTok or Instagram. When your brushes are the bristles of your lining brush is starting to, separate because maybe you cleaned them in some acetone or something, you want to take some really hot water. So what I did was I took a microwave safe cup with some water, put it in the microwave for about a minute and a half, and then I just dip my brushes. And let me tell y'all, it actually works to get that point back in your brush and get all your bristles back together. Another way to keep your brushes conditioned is when you're done using gel polish, Just wipe it. Don't put it in acetone. Make sure it's away from a curing lamp, otherwise it'll cure together. Things like that. So just wipe the brush, on a napkin and put the cap back on it. It'll keep your brush, bristles together. So I am curing that tongue. I really want to do another mouth. That was very, very cute. It turned out very cute, y'all. So yeah, I graduated from North in 2005 and I graduated with honors, sports, and all of that, was involved. So now I'm just doing my lining work with black and I'm making the inside of that mouth black to make it look more like a mouth. So I got this idea. I had Googled some 3D artwork and I saw a summer set that had this mouth on it. And the reason why I chose the mouth for North is because we were loud at basketball and football, track, whatever sporting events where we had to, rep our school and support. We were loud. We were seen and heard. So I said this would be the perfect thing to add for, a homecoming nail for North because we had school spirit and I haven't been to a game in a long time. I should go to one. I want to go to a basketball game just to see, you know, the, high schoolers now, see if they still carried on our spirit, and I'm pretty sure I have faith that they have. So other high schools I really didn't know too much about because I didn't attend any other high school. I went to North all 4 years. So I didn't really know how to, outside of like maybe the colors and um, you know, the mascots, which I didn't add anybody mascot. I stayed away from that, you know. But I guess I could have put a bear. I could have put a bear on Brian's because they're the bears. And I'm not too good with shaping animals and things like that with 3D, so maybe that's something I can work on, you know, next. Is just kind of, making 3D kawaii charms out of acrylic on, on a nail bed. I've seen it be done and it looks easy, but however, I've never attempted. So I did not want to make this video, an experiment. So here I have some of those fruit and flower little, I don't know what you call those. Those little things you encapsulate. You see them all the time for fruit nails. I am going to be putting some lemons because that's the only color that I have. Like the blue was like a flower. I didn't want to put a blue flower. So I wish they would have had like some blueberries in that set. Also got that off of Amazon as well. So you could just type in, nail decals or, fruit nail decals and they'll pop right up and you get a crap ton of them for, you know, a good little amount of money, a few dollars. So, and they have different ones that you can get different shapes and fruits and things like that. So I tried to put this sucker on this nail and this sucker I made it. So it's kind of bigger than the ones that you would purchase off of Amazon or wherever, Etsy shops and things like that. So, and this nail isn't that long. These are kind of on the short side. So I decided not to put a sucker. Instead, and then I tried the M&M that I made as well, and it was big. Um, I had some smaller ones, but they were red. Doesn't go with the color scheme of the school because we don't have red in our colors. So I decided to do a little yellow gummy bear that I made a while back. And I got the form for the gummy bear off of Amazon. It's like a little silicone clear form. If you type that in, you may be able to still find it. I got this like a couple years ago because I wanted to make gummy bear nails and I wanted different sizes. So that way, that tongue has some candy on it and it goes with the school's thing. So I got my blue, I got my gold, and I also have my yellow gold, which is the gummy bear. Okay. So now I am adding some drips onto the pinky nail. And I don't know about anybody else, but comment down below if you struggle with the drips being defined. I don't know why I struggle with that, but I do. I just feel like my drips could be better. They've gotten a lot better because I watched videos on how to make it look, you know, drippy, but not like just, you don't want your drips to look too real. You want them to look artsy. So you want more curved lines. You want the drip to look like an actual drip. So you want that bulb kind of shape at the end of the drip. There's different techniques and things you have to do to make the drips look good. Because I used to just drip polish on the nails and call it drips, and it was like too realistic. Those type of drips will look good for like Halloween nails because it'll make the nail look spooky. You don't want so much curve when you're making nails look spooky. So you want your lines to be a little more jagged or a little uneven, things like that. So that's not the case for everyday drips. You want your drips to look like, yeah, you want them to look clean is the best way I can explain it. So I'm curing that. I'm doing a lot of curing in between because we're working with gel polish, and gel polish runs and moves until you cure it. Excuse me. So now I am going in and I'm cleaning up what I cured. That's the best way for me. More power and all praise to the people that can get it all done and looking good without having to cure in between. But better safe than sorry. When I did have clients, I really tried to stay away from doing a lot of artwork and line work because people don't like putting their hands in the lamp. I noticed a lot. And it's like, it's necessary. At least my clients that I had, they were very impatient. And it's like, hey, you want this to look good, right? Okay, so I can't just do everything at once and then you just stick your hand in once. You're going to have to stick your hand in and out of that lamp at least for 10 seconds to get it shock cured. But with gel polish, you want to do more than, I noticed with this particular brand that I'm using, Beetles, you want to do more than 10 seconds when you're curing. You just probably should just go on and do the full 30 seconds, 60 seconds, because it's going to lump up and bump up. So now we are going in and adding our ice cream scoops. And as I'm looking at this, there's something that I realized I could have done better. See where I'm poking right there? I should have left it like that and then just added more acrylic and then made the spikes to make it look more like a scoop. So I just learned something to make my ice cream scoops look better. This is not my first time doing ice cream. Um, but if I would have laid another bead of acrylic underneath that scoop and then poke that, it will look more like a scoop. So if you want to go ahead and try that, thank me later. Um, my eye gets trained every day. My eyes get trained every day. That's why I like to go back and look at me work and do these type of things so that I can tell myself next time I'll do it like this and it'll look better. Practice makes perfect. So I went ahead and laid that lemon right on the ice cream because the look that I got inspired by actually had stuff inlaid in the ice cream scoops, which I've done this before. Um, I want to say on my nails, I did a Mother's Day set on myself last year in 2021, and it had ice cream scoops, and it was green and pink, and it was very cute, very cute. Another thing you can do is take some red acrylic and lay a cherry on top. I could have put another scoop of ice cream, like white, to put more white in the look because white is one of the school colors. You can also do some gel polish sprinkles, just kind of take a lining brush and make those sprinkles and cure it, just to add some fun to the ice cream. But V up, it's V up time. V up is a term that we used at sporting events, and it was just like our school slogan, V up, Vikings. You know, our school is home of the Vikings. And if you are from Omaha, you know you've heard V up before. So, um, yeah, at the basketball games, we used to put our V's up with our finger, like the peace sign, whenever our team was at the free throw line. And my principal hated this so much, but we'd hold our V's up. And then when they make it, we put our V's down and say, swoosh, bitch. We were in y'all face. We were loud. We were belligerent. We were we just had fun at my school. So I remember other schools like Central had made rebuttals when we would do that, and I'm not gonna repeat it because it wasn't friendly at all. We got reprimanded. The whole school got reprimanded the next day on the intercom, and we were told that if we got caught doing the swoosh B, we would get suspended. So they had to stop that because it was getting serious. North High has the most spirit out of any high school in this city, whether it's within the 7 high schools or not. Hands down, we had the most spirit. Okay. Like we had our people, it was like a college almost. You know how colleges have like spirit? They have the people that paint their bodies and stuff like that. We had that at North in high school. Okay. There's people that would paint their bodies blue and gold and all types of crazy stuff, wear the Viking hats. And then there was a section, I'm just top coating. There was a section in our, football and basketball where people would sit, like the spirit kids would sit, and they called it the Viking ship. So there's a couple times I was over there with my Mardi Gras beads and my blue and, my blue and gold, and it was fun. So I couldn't have picked these schools any better. Y'all see me pick them out of a jar. I truly saved the best for last, but not on purpose. It was just, by the luck of the draw. It was meant to be. So that's the school that I attended. Like I said, class of '05. That's when I graduated. Um, and yeah, and graduation for me was just so surreal because I had went through so many different things, you know outside of high school, personal life, and in high school, um things that tried to set me back, but I didn't let it triumph over me. Praise be to God. So it was surreal. It was almost like I wanted to cry, but I didn't cry. I didn't let a tear fall from my eye. I just maturely walked across the stage, got my diploma, and I was like, wow, I did it. I'm out of school, and then I went to college the following fall. So yeah, great memories. I look forward to attending some of my reunions. And yeah, if some of my old classmates are watching this, make sure I get an invite this time because I didn't make it to my 10 year. I heard about it like the day before, and I wasn't able to get, plans and stuff to be able to go. But my 20-year reunion is coming up in a couple years, and it goes by fast. So if you are in high school, just know that it will be over sooner than you think. 4 years as a freshman, you're like, 4 years? That's going to take forever. But it goes by really, really fast. It goes by really fast, So just enjoy the moments, have fun, you know, be active, because I did track, basketball, and a cappella choir. Um, and I was very successful, went to state for track, you know, uh, got recruited from basketball, even though our team sucked. I'm just gonna say what it is. The girls sucked. We had people that thought they were WNBA stars, but they didn't get any scholarship for basketball. So, you know, I would just let them think that. But, just be involved. Just be involved. Also try DECA and other things too outside of sports, just to be involved, and make friends. Make the most of those years because that is very much a pivotal time in all of our lives, And high school is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to learn a lot, but you're supposed to have fun because you're coming into adulthood. So that was my set. I'm going to show y'all the final product here. It's just curing in the lamp, and I'm tidying up like I always do. And I'm going to turn my camera around so y'all can see the final product. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Would you rock these? What are your school colors? Let me know in the comments. What are your school colors? What high school did you attend? Where are you from? So I'd like to hear from y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure you hit like and subscribe so you'll be notified every time that I drop. Thank you, and till the next one. Peace.